Destiny, where are you tonight? I called for you, but lonely is the night. I wanna tell you something isn't right. Oh, right. Destiny, where are you tonight?
Oh my!
And with that barking conclusion,
Destiny, where are you? I don't know.
well, I don't know where Destiny is, but there certainly is a microphone right here.
There sure is. That means it's time for another episode of American Brews and Tunes!
That's right, my name is Steven Johnston.
My name is Jesse Titus.
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beeby-dow!
Wow, Shibbida Beepoo Dow is right. That theme song
yeah.
said it all.
That's right. Wow.
Wow.
Great.
Anyways, here we are with a very special episode number 20.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I was about to say we're
20.
in double digits, but we've been in double digits for a while.
Digits for a while.
We're now in,
We're now past the teens, man.
yeah, we're not teenagers anymore.
We're not. This
We're
podcast
20-agers.
isn't 20-agers.
Yeah. We're still not
Okay.
legal, apparently.
No, not yet. One more episode.
Yeah, we'll touch upon that later.
Okay.
For all of you who haven't been listening to the past episodes, what is wrong with you? Just kidding. This is a bi-weekly podcast in which myself, Steven, recommends a punk rock album for Jesse to listen to.
And I recommend a more indie or alternative rock or folk music album for Steve to listen to.
And we come back together after 2 weeks to listen to these records, and we talk about them whilst trying brand new beers.
Right, so we get the best of two worlds.
The best of both worlds in one place. American
Yeah,
Brews and
exactly.
Tunes.
That's why.
If that's not a
This is the
recipe for
best.
success, then I'm not a chef. And a lot of people have called me Chef Steven, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you be the judge.
I don't think anyone's ever called me Chef Steven.
Really?
I've called myself Grillmaster Steve before
Grillmaster
when we were
Steve.
making burgers, but that
Yeah.
I think
That's
I
only
called
a-
myself that. No one else did, so it doesn't really count.
I think Jesse calls you Grill Master.
Yeah, because I did it for I called myself that first, and he followed suit.
Oh, gotcha.
Anywho, let's give a quick recap of what we've been listening to for these past 2 weeks. What have you been listening to, Sir Jesse?
Well, Sir Stephen, I've been listening to the album Slowly Going the Way of the Buffalo.
What?
The Buffalo.
Oh, I couldn't understand your weird accent there.
By MxPx.
Medea.
No.
Sounds like Tyler Perry's Medea.
No. MxPx is a pop punk band from the 90s.
Punk, yeah. Probably late 90s, early 2000s when they started getting
Yeah.
big. Yeah, but they are still going, believe it or not. And the reason I recommended this album for you is because, well, I'll touch upon that later.
Okay. Sounds
What have I been listening to for the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, what have you been listening
An
to?
album called Postcards From Ursa Minor by the solo artist Will Varley.
Now, for those of you who aren't educated in celestial bodies,
Which I'm not.
Yeah, Ursa Minor is the Little Dipper, I believe.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I've been listening to this the whole time and I had no idea.
yeah.
I thought Ursa Minor was like a bear or something.
Well, yeah, exactly. The Little Dipper is the little cub, and Ursa Major, which is the Big Dipper, is the big bear, mama bear.
Wait, are you kidding me?
No,
I was making that up when I said a bear.
no, I'm pretty sure it is. Let me check.
Maybe like, do you remember on Pokemon those two bear? The
Yeah.
bear? What is that called?
Ursa Ring.
Yes, that's why, like in my head, he said Ursa Minor, so it's got to be related to the Ursa Ring.
Yeah.
I was like, it's probably a bear, but I have absolutely no idea. So I literally just pulled that out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere. I pulled that out of Pokemon. Wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Ursa Minor is the Little Dipper? Is Ursa Major the Big Dipper?
That's what I just said a little bit ago.
Yeah, whatever. I wasn't paying attention. Anyways, those are the albums we've been listening to for the past 2 weeks.
Ursa Minor is Latin for lesser bear, also
Yeah.
known as Little Bear, the Little Dipper.
Little Dipper. There you go.
So I wasn't kidding you.
You learn new things every single day, and
Yeah.
today is not an exception.
I'm just surprised you didn't know that.
So let me tell you about the beer I'm having this week. We'll come back to the music in just a
and
little
I'll
bit.
tell you about the beer that I'm having after Steve.
Yeah, so Since this is episode number 20, we wanted to have a special beer for this episode. So I'm having the Stone 21st Anniversary Double IPA. It's called Hail to the Hop. So I was like, episode 20.
Hail to the Hop Thief.
Hail to the Hop Thief. I was like, episode 20, I have to have the 21st Anniversary IPA.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes so much sense. And
Nice.
since 20, there's a 2 and 20, we can't just have one of these, can we?
Well, let me tell you about the beer that I'm having.
Yeah. Tell me about the beer you're having.
So this is a special. Since it's a special episode, I wanted to have a
special beer?
A special beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
One to kind of commemorate it. And I'm having the Stone Hail to the Hop Thief.
What?
21st anniversary.
So I was right in predicting that by 20, that means 2.
Yeah,
2 of the same beer.
If you take away that 0, boom, 2.
So Jesse and I have done this
And this is a
twice
double IPA.
before where we've had the same beer, right? When we
Yeah.
were having the very first episode with Frank Turner,
Blue Moon Cappuccino.
the Menzingers, which was the Founders Kentucky Breakfast Stout.
And now this one.
And now for this one, where we were having the Stone 21st Anniversary Hail to the Hop Thief Double IPA. If that
Hail to
if
the
that
Hop
name
Thief.
isn't a
Hail to the
mouthful,
Hop Thief.
then I don't know
Yeah,
what
I
is.
just said Hop Thief.
Hop
Instead of
thief.
thief. Hop Thief. Hop Thief. Hop Thief.
Hop Thief. Hop Thief. Well,
Hop Thief.
what does it say on here? It says a double India Pale Ale fit for our 21st year. And if you actually hold it to the light, you can see a lot of sediment in there, which means it's unfiltered.
Oh man,
Did you know that?
that's nice, dude.
Did you know it was unfiltered?
No, I'm even more excited now, man.
So, for those of you who don't know much about unfiltered beers, that
Man.
literally is just as it says that when they're putting it from the brewing process into the bottling process, they don't filter out all the particles, and so we've got sediment and particles floating around in our beer from the unfilteredness. Sometimes people don't like that because it looks weird. It does add extra flavor, but not bad flavor. It actually adds more of the, what would you say, more of the actual flavor the beer's supposed to taste like a little bit?
yes,
So it enhances the beer flavor. And Jesse just took a picture of the beer, and you can kind of see the sediment under
yeah,
there.
I'll post this on Instagram.
We'll post this on Instagram.
It's really cool. This is like the most sediment I've seen in a beer.
And I'm going to be
It's
pouring...
Like, it's really floating around in there, man.
I'm going to be pouring my beer into a boot glass, a half-liter boot glass in celebration of Oktoberfest. So Jesse will take a picture of that, and we'll post it also. But what say you that we crack these?
You know what? I say yes.
Ship it to people crack! Nice.
Yes.
This is easy to open
Oh,
with
it's
this.
gonna be a great day for a beer. A great day to pour some beer in a glass.
What song is that? Were you just...
I was just making up one.
It sounded like a song by the Eagles. It's gonna
Oh, it's
be
gonna.
a
Oh,
a
yeah.
heartache tonight. A heartache tonight, I know.
It's
Also,
gonna be a heartache tonight.
since you guys obviously know that this podcast is also about music, I just got to do a little plug here. Not our sponsor, but on Netflix you can find a documentary about the Eagles. It's about 3 hours long because it's 2 documentaries put together. Oh, it is well worth your time.
Is it good?
I'm a better person for watching it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how good it is.
I might have to watch it then.
I was on one level, and then I watched it, and I was slightly on just a barely higher level.
You just took that next step up.
Yeah, it wasn't even really a step. It was kind of just like a leaning forwards. I'm just kidding.
So you just kind of like, after watching that, you're just kind of like, just lean forward a little
Nah,
bit.
I should say it's a step up. It's a really good documentary. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but if you type in Eagles on Netflix, you're gonna find it. Super good. Let's give our magic phrase and try this.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
Shibbity-beep-a-doo! That is good.
Oh my.
That is good. And before we talk about the flavors, did we talk about the alcohol content on here?
It's 9.9, right?
9.8.
9.8.
So it's up there. On the bottle, I don't see the IBU level, but we can look that up in a second on our favorite app, Untapped. Which actually, here, you talk about what you're experiencing right now while I look this up.
Okay.
Yeah. So what did you feel to taste in that taste?
It's really thick.
Yeah, it's potent.
Like it's not thick like okay, so I'm just gonna talk about the New England style IPA, right? Because that's like a new thing, right?
It's a new thing. It's
Yeah.
like hazy,
So,
citrusy.
I've been looking into a lot of new styles of IPA, as you know I do all the time.
Yeah, that's one of your favorite
That's one of my
pastimes.
favorite hobbies. And
I wonder. You're like this. I wonder if there are any brand new styles of IPA out there in the world.
Yeah,
and
so,
most times you're disappointed because very
There's
rarely do
not.
they come up with new ones.
But there is recently a new one called New England Style IPA. And if you are an avid drinker of IPAs, you've most likely seen this before.
Probably they've been popping up a lot lately. In the past 4 or 5 months, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe even less.
and they've probably been around for longer than that. But the first time that we kind of experienced it was with a Bearded Iris down
Bearded
here.
Iris. What was the first beer we had?
What's it called?
Iris,
The Homestyle.
Homestyle IPA.
Homestyle
Very
IPA.
good. Super cloudy.
But yeah, basically what the New England style is it's just like really cloudy. Like it looks cloudy.
Yeah.
And it also kind of tastes
Hazy.
cloudy. Yeah, it's like hazy and cloudy. So like it has like a thicker, I'd say like thicker body. Like it's it's not like a thin, like thicker doesn't mean strong or weak, but
I wouldn't say as thick as like a big intense stout, but way thicker than a normal
than like
IPA.
a regular like West Coast style IPA, which is generally has like a light body and you get like a lot of piney citrus notes or whatever. But the reason I tell you that is because this beer from Stone kind of gives you that the same mouth feel and the same flavors that would normally be in like a New England style IPA.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it's not that style. Like you can still see through it. And I'm guessing that has to do with the sediment.
Probably. I think that would have a lot to do with it.
I'm thinking so. I really like this.
Yeah, I like this too. It's the hops are super duper present.
And also, mine's not very cold. I put it in the fridge about, I don't know, maybe
an hour ago,
40 minutes ago. Yeah. So it's a lot less.
You're tasting it a lot more.
Yeah, I think the flavors are coming through way more. Yeah. So hopefully when yours warms up,
I'll be able to get on your level, bruh. Yeah, bro. Anyways, I'm checking my beer in on our absolute favorite social media drinking app, which is, of course, called Untapped. If you haven't listened to our podcast, then you haven't heard it. If you have listened to our podcast, you know what it is.
And if you already know what it is.
If you're an avid drinker of craft beer, you probably know what this is.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, it's like Facebook for beer.
Yeah, you check in the beer that you're having. You can say what location. You can give it a rating. You can take a picture. And it's just kind of cool to keep track of what you had. That way, if you're like, I don't remember if I've had this beer before, or I wonder what my friends say about this beer, you can do that. You can check your friends. You can toast them. You can comment on other
globally
people's.
too and see what other people have said about the beer, and
it's just a really cool.
Gives
app.
you like a nice little description of each beer too. So
they're not our sponsors, but we wish that they were because they're awesome.
They're the best. They're so good.
Speaking of sponsors, though, our sponsor this week is a sponsor that we've had before. Is everyone's favorite Nashville folk punk, garage rock, whatever you want to call them, band.
Oh yeah,
Tree Shelf. What a great band. They're currently just an acoustic duo, but they're looking for a bass player and drummer. So if you are looking, or if you have a bass player and drummer that wants to play with them
in Nashville,
let us know and we'll let them know because we know them personally for some reason.
We do know them.
Yeah, it's weird, but whatever.
Met them randomly one night.
Whatever. Last week I think I went first with the album. Did
you? I think so.
So
Let's talk about mine. Let's talk about this one first. I feel like we're going to be talking about yours a little bit longer.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk about the albums. If our beer flavors change at all over the episode, we will let you know. If not, we won't let you know.
And again, we've said it before, so I'm going to say it again. Repetition is, a key to victory.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Practice makes perfect.
I once heard that charisma is the key. No, that's a different line. Never mind.
Charisma
is the key to opportunity.
I mean,
that's in a Bowling for Soup song.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I love Bowling for Soup.
Anyway, I'm going to say it again.
We should tag, when we post this episode, we should tag Will Varley and try and get him to repost that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll talk about
on Twitter.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to Will Varley. We got some fun stories about him.
Anyway,
you take it away.
Anyway, we've said it before in this podcast that the point of it is to broaden not only our musical horizons, but also broaden your musical horizons as you listen with us or experience this with us.
Yes, and so hopefully you've actually followed our Spotify playlist and listened to these the past week.
Oh, did you set that up?
Yeah, I set it up. It's live right now.
Nice. Oh, well, if you haven't checked that out, then we have...
Go on Spotify, type in American Brews and Tunes, and you'll find the playlist. If you're having trouble finding it that way, go on our Facebook. We have links for it. It literally is... It's at the end of each episode, that's when we recommend the albums for each other. And so once we post that episode, you go on the Spotify playlist, and it's those 2 albums. So you can listen along so that when we record that next episode, you'll be ready and able to know the songs with us.
Able to be like, oh yeah, I know that song.
Yeah.
That's not my favorite. What the heck are you talking about, crazy?
Yeah. And it's just so great.
Yeah.
So great.
But anyway, I'm still trying to say this one point that I started a little bit ago.
Yeah, it's about broadening horizons.
Yeah, broadening horizons. And then also, I'm only really gonna touch on the 3 songs that I recommend.
Yeah, that's
because
what we
again,
do,
we want you guys to
we don't have enough time to go through every single song, so we'll elaborate on the 3 recommended songs and briefly go over the other ones.
Yep. All right, so onward and upward to MxPx.
You had never heard of MxPx before, which is kind of odd because you grew up in a Christian household.
Yeah.
Where you listen to Switchfoot, I'm assuming you were Lion K.
Yeah.
Did you listen to Five Iron Frenzy?
No, not really.
MxPx was one of those bands. They weren't like a Christian band, but they were a band that was Christians, and they had some songs that kind of talked about religion a little bit. And so they were like a very family-friendly punk rock band, easy gateway for kids to get into that parents approved of.
Yeah. No, yeah, I just think I never found them.
Fair enough.
Either that or I was just like, who needs other bands when I got Switchfoot?
Exactly. Well, Switchfoot's great. But I recommended this album for you because literally last week I went and saw MxPx live, and it was so good. It was so nostalgic, and it reminded me of listening to them as a kid.
Yeah.
And they were so good live.
Yeah.
And I met their drummer at the bar across the street.
Nice.
Did I tell you about that?
I think so, yeah.
He was just sitting there. Me and Becca were like, I turned, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the drummer from MxPx. She's like, how do you know? I was like, well, I looked up a picture, and I was like, is this him? And she's like, I think so, but I can't tell. And he was literally standing right next to me, and he was, he opened a tab previously, and he ordered food. And he's like, yeah, that goes on the blank blah blah tab. And I was like, did you hear what he just said for his last name? And Becca's like, yeah. And I was like, I looked up, it was his last name. I was like, that's definitely him. So I turned around, I was like,
did you go say hi?
I turned around, like literally, he was like literally right next to me, so I could have like bumped into him. Yeah, I turned around, I was like, excuse me, you're not the drummer for MxPx, are you? And he's like, yeah, I am. Yeah. And then we talked for a couple minutes. It was pretty cool. He was a nice guy.
Nice.
But enough about that. They're a good band. I want to hear what you have to say about this album.
Okay.
I think it's a great album. I'd love to hear what you think.
The album is called Slowly Going the Way of the Buffalo, which
Extinct?
You told me,
or endangered?
Are they? They're not extinct.
They're endangered. Or they went endangered, I guess.
Did you say that the title of the album came from somewhere?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I might have said that.
I thought you had said that to me one.
I probably did. While you're explaining things, I'll look it up.
Anyway, I'm gonna start off with track number 1.
That is the best place to start off, obviously.
Yeah. So track number 1 is called Under Lock and Key.
Fast way to start, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a great album opener.
It's really fast, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very fast. I didn't recommend it. I gave it 4 to 5.
Yeah. It's a good, fast, fun opening song.
Yeah. So I'm going to go on to track number 2. It's called Tomorrow's Another Day.
Oh, here, literally, I went to the Facebook page or the Wikipedia page for Slowly Going the Way of Buffalo, and this is what it says. The album title was taken from a letter that the band had written, or that a fan had written to the band, complaining that the band was changing and was slowly going the way of the buffalo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Because their earlier albums, you can tell a difference between like their first 2 or 3. I think it's just 2 albums before this. But if you listen, maybe 3, I can't remember. But if you listen to them versus this, I think they started to get a better handle on songwriting. And I'm not actually as huge a fan of their first couple albums.
Really?
I think this is better, and I don't think the first ones are the best.
Okay.
But everyone has their own opinions, so maybe other people like them better.
Yeah.
Beforehand,
you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So track number 2, Tomorrow's Another Day. I gave the song 5 out of 5, and I recomendationed it.
I thought you would. This is a great song.
It is a great song.
When I saw them, they opened with this.
Really?
So good.
Very nice.
So good.
The song is about not wanting to watch your life fly by.
Like he literally says that in the song. I don't want to let my life fly by, dude.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know. It's like just saying like
it's pretty much that message.
Yeah, I don't want to I want to make the most of every moment, and don't want to let your life go by too fast. So you want to live in the moment, as it were.
And if today's bad, make the most of tomorrow.
Oh, now that you say that, the bridge.
Which I was looking at. I didn't want to say it, but I was going to let you lead into it, so I'll let you say about the bridge. It's so good.
The bridge is great, yeah. Today didn't have to be this way. Tomorrow is another day. Another chance to make things right. What's the last
Chance
one?
to finally live your life. Trevor, 1, 2, and then it gets really, really fast.
Yeah. So yeah,
They repeat that line a crap ton, like over and over again, and it gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Very memorable.
But during the bridge, they kind of like start off full band, and then eventually it just goes to, I think it just goes to bass chords, right? Or just
Yeah.
drum,
Well, this
like
song's got a
the
lot
hi-hat,
of,
or not the hi-hat, the ride cymbal.
this song's got a lot of speed changes and a lot of
Yeah. Oh, a lot of their songs have that
a lot of what's the word, like loud to quiet,
dynamic range.
a lot of dynamic changes. Like it starts off slow, builds up big time, gets fast, slows down, gets quiet, builds up. And so the bridge, like they repeat that, and then it's just bass and singer.
Oh yeah, bass chords. That's what I wrote down. I think
Their lead singer,
the right
his name
cymbal.
Mike Herrera. You guys might have heard of him. He's got a podcast. He's pretty prominent in the punk scene.
Is he the one who does? Wait, what's this podcast?
I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head.
Oh, I thought it was what's the one?
He interviews a lot of bands.
Oh, he interviews bands. Okay, what's the one?
And he actually just I don't know if you've been paying attention on Twitter, but he just interviewed the Menzingers.
Oh,
and
for real?
It's the most recent episode, so check it out.
That's pretty cool.
But he's a bass player, so it's kind of fun to see like a lead singer being a bass player, because most of the times they're guitar players.
Huh? Strangely like Blink-182.
I know, but he's the only lead singer. Like Blink-182 switches back and forth, so one of their lead singers is a guitar player.
Gotcha.
But continue.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I recommended that one.
It's a great song.
So that's great.
I recommend it too. So double recommended.
Double recommended. Double beers. Double the fun.
Yeah, well, you could multiply those doubles by each other and make it quadruple the fun.
Oh man.
Double times double is quadruple.
Steve, you're going a little bit too deep right now.
It's a little double squared, if you ask me. Little deep squared, dub squared.
Yeah, dude. Definitely.
Yeah, dub square,
Dub square.
dubstep.
Dubstep.
So now we're getting into weird territories.
I recently got back into dubstep.
I'm not a dubstep. I don't dislike it. I just don't get into it.
I also listened to that a lot in high school
Weird.
because my friend was a DJ,
Oh, that makes sense.
and but the dubstep that I listened to in high school is and nothing like the dubstep now.
Well, yeah, dubstep now is more mainstream and pop. Like I know, I've heard
Yeah.
some of the stuff you've listened to before.
Just really chill and quiet and slow. I can show you some later.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about dubstep.
Track number 3.
Let's talk about MxPx.
Yeah.
Track number 3, The Final Slow Dance. Basically the song's about not wanting to spend your life alone.
Yeah.
The line is, no one wants to spend eternity alone.
It's not a bad song. It's not my favorite though.
No, yeah, there's a... I wrote down something here, and like you were saying, the tempo shifts and dynamic shifts. There was a part of the song where they go, they're like full-time, then half-time, and then they like slowly build back up to full-time. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It's a fun thing to do live, to see them do that. Which
Yeah.
I've never seen them do that, but
I've
it'd be
never
cool to
seen
see
them
them do that song.
Yeah. So I give that 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Yeah.
The next song is called I'm Okay, You're Okay. Da 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 da.
I'm okay, you're okay. Da, 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 da. They played this when I saw them.
Yeah, like
It's a good song.
the
but
thing
it's not
about this song, like it's very very catchy, but
Oh, it's super catchy.
it for me it kind of gets like I don't want to say monotonous, but that same.
I agree with
feel.
you. It's
just
like, I
kinda
like the
like-
song, but
it's
halfway
kinda
through,
like-
I'm kind of ready for the next song.
La 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 la
Right?
la 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 la. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, I'm done with it.
You can only hear the melody so many times. It's not bad, but it's just.
Yeah, I still like it.
Yeah.
But so for that reason, I give it 3.5 out of 5. On to track number 5. This song is called "Cold and All Alone." Sad.
Even the title's super sad.
I gave it 3.5 out of 5. It's basically a song about
being cold and all alone.
yeah, that's it.
That's the title says it all.
Those
That's all
are-
you need. That's literally
Those
all
are
you
the
need
only
to know.
those are the only lyrics in the whole song. I'm cold and all alone.
That's all you need to know.
Cold and all alone. No, it seems like it's a song about relationships. That's what it's about. But anyway, on to track number 6. Party, comma, my house, comma, be there.
It's about time for a party at my house, and it wouldn't be the same without you. No, no, no.
We always do that.
If I recall,
You got what I need.
They play this when I saw them too. I like this song. I actually like this song a lot.
It grew on me a little bit. I didn't really like it at first because I was like, Boring.
Boring. I actually like this song a lot.
But I gave it a 4 out of 5 though, because it's kind of cool.
See, I would have recommended this
song-
one, but I guess you didn't.
No, I did not.
Interesting.
I did not, Steve. It's a song about wanting a girl to come to the party at your house and stay there from summer to fall because you like her.
Yeah, isn't that what everyone wants?
Yeah, most people.
I guess.
Anyway, track number 7 is called "The Downfall of Western Civilization."
This one
Now-
starts off with a do 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 do.
No. That's
What is that song? That's
I think that's "Invitation to Understanding." I think it's the next song.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's this one.
I just listened to it.
Oh, it's not. It's not Downfall. Never mind. I'm thinking of another song. But it's not Invitation. It's, who knows?
We could. We're not. We'll figure out. We'll figure out who's right later.
We'll figure it out later.
I think I'm right, but whatever. We'll figure that out later.
Well, if I had to guess, I think I'd probably say it's the song "What's Mine Is Yours," but we'll figure it out.
Well, wow, you all of a sudden changed your guess.
Oh, I'm genius.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
this hat I'm wearing, the genius hat. But I'll let you proceed with track number 7.
Self-proclaimed.
All right, Mr. Proclaimer, give us track number 7.
Track number 7, "The Downfall of Western Civilization." I almost recommended this one.
I would have recommended it. Well, maybe.
I gave it 4 out of 5. Just starts off with the bass.
Mm-hmm.
Just the bass. Just the bass. Yeah.
Like that?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a jam.
Yeah, it really is.
And then it gets really fast.
I'm not really sure what the song's about, but maybe the title says it all.
Isn't that the chorus? Excuse me, but I don't know you.
Yeah.
And
And
you
I sure don't know you either. Excuse me. No, he says neither instead of either.
Neither, yeah. It's a goofy chorus.
It's
it almost
weird.
doesn't fit, but it kind of is cool at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice shift between like really fast and then they kind of slow it down.
Yeah.
So again, seems to be
Speed
one
and
of the
dynamics, yeah.
Seems to be one of the. Did I say sample?
Staple, I think.
Staple.
Well, I don't know what you said, but I think you were going for staple.
Yeah, I was staple to their songwriting. "Invitation to Understanding" is track number 8.
Is it?
Yes.
I know.
Is it? I gave the song 3.5 out of 5. Like, it's still kind of like the last, kind of like the whichever track that was, track number, the party song.
6.
It's catchy,
It's sketchy, but it's
but
not,
I just kind of
not the favorite.
blasé, as Josh Western would say.
Oh, shout out to Josh Western for blasé, I guess.
I gotta tell you a story here real quick. Today, Josh texted me, and he said, "I just what did he say?"
Josh is one of I met him in college. Jesse's known him since growing up. He's one of our good buddies.
Since we were in T-ball. He said, "Just saying word for word, Billy Bob Joe the Farmer Boy. Still remember the lyrics."
Billy Bob Joe the Farmer Boy?
Yeah.
What the heck? Is this like a little kid song?
No. Well, I mean, we Josh and I wrote it when we were kids.
What the heck?
It's called Billy Bob Joe the Farmer Boy.
Do you want to enlighten us?
Yeah. It's a pretty great song.
What the heck? Go ahead. The microphone is here.
Just laughing about it. Okay.
Take it away, Jesse. Stop laughing. Here, a 1, a 2,
Okay.
a 1, 2, 3, yo.
Billy Bob Joe the Farmer Boy.
Did you say Billy Bob Joe the Farmer Boy? After hearing that line, I can't help but laugh.
But the words are. Let me just try and get through it.
All right, one more time. Do you want me to look away so I don't laugh at you? Yeah. All right, I'm turning around so I don't laugh at Jesse. All right.
Oh, okay.
A 1, a 2,
No,
a 1,
don't
2.
say that either. Okay, I'll just okay. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. All right, Billy Bob Joe the Farmer.
All right, that's enough. Just say the lyrics.
I saw you start to laugh, so I started to laugh. Even though I
Billy
couldn't
Bob
see your
Joe
face.
the Farmer Boy.
Went to the store to buy some bok choy. When he got
Bok choy? Farmers don't buy bok choy, do they? Billy Bob Joe the Farmer Boy went to the store to buy bok choy. What's the next part?
when he got there was none left. So Billy Bob Joe waited. He sat on his rump until it got plump.
He sat on his rump until he got plump.
And then he
Sat on his rump
said,
until he got plump.
and then he said, I think I'll walk around instead.
Is that the whole thing? It still goes on. They said, I think I'll go walk around instead.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my
anyway,
gosh.
so that was funny for Josh to text me that today.
Oh, how did you come up with this weird song?
I think it was like.
Were you guys going to buy bok choy?
No, the reason I chose bok choy was because in the television show Arthur, there was bok choy in one episode of that, and I was like, wow, what is bok choy? Is that even a thing?
Is that even a thing?
Anyway, so the reason we wrote it in like 8th grade at like a Super Bowl party at someone's house.
That was a huge
Anyway.
progress.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Back to
we're
MxPx.
gonna be able to get through a lot of these next songs because I didn't recommend them pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
go through them quick.
So track number 9, Fist versus Tact. Did they play this live?
I don't think they did. It's a fast
Not too
one. I know
bad. Yeah,
that.
it
It's
feels
really
it
fast.
feels like Minor Threat. It's like it's the most
Really-
different song in the whole album, which I that's why I gave it 4 out of 5.
It's like super fast
Yep.
compared to the
Yeah,
other
and
things.
it's like,
well, it's like a hardcore punk song.
Yep.
Yeah, they
Yep.
throw in like 1 or 2 of those every album. It seems
It's
like
very good.
Yeah, I like that song.
Anyway, the next song is called "What's Mine Is Yours." By the way, we're on track number 10.
Do 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 do. I love that guitar line.
Good song, but it's close to a skipper for me. Close.
That's such a bummer.
That's still good. Like
This is one of my favorite songs on the album.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
not
love
me.
this song.
Not me, definitely not me.
Oh, that's a bummer. But I guess everyone's opinion's different.
Track number 11 is called "Self-Serving with a Purpose." Whenever I first wrote down the title, I wrote "porpoise" instead of "purpose." But anyway,
I like a good purpose as
there's
well.
I gave this one 4 out of 5 because I like it. But there's a line in it where it sounds a lot like Blink-182. I'm not like you guys. But in this,
What's he say?
He says, "I'm not like you thugs."
A little different, but still.
Yeah. Anyway,
And I think this album came out before Enemy of the State by Blink-182.
really?
I believe so. While you're looking up,
This was
reviewing some
98.
more songs. Was this 98?
Yeah.
Then yeah, right before.
Okay.
Dude Ranch came out right
So
before
they
this.
wrote it at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ish. Because Enemy of the State came out in 99.
Oh, really? Okay. I always thought it came out earlier for some reason. All right. Anyway, on to my second recommendation, "For Always," track number 12.
Not one I would have picked, but
I'll tell you the reason why I picked it.
Yes, tell us.
It's because I really like the melody
Okay.
of the verses.
Well, that's a good reason. Melodies play a key part to music.
Yeah. So let me see if I can remember what it is. If we help each other out along the way, things okay.
Oh yeah.
Who decides if you'll succeed? Who decides those things you want and need? Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's musically a lot different than the rest of the album too. So I think that's partially why I gravitated towards it.
Yeah.
And there's like the palm muting for the verses.
Oh,
So it's like,
okay.
and then whenever it gets at the end of the phrase, it's like open chords.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like the tone of the guitar just like drew me in every single time I listened to that song.
Oh.
So that's why I really
That's
liked
enough
it.
to recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. So I mean that's why I recommend it, and also the message is pretty good. It's basically about learning about like life and like searching for truth like with other people in life.
Yeah, I think a lot of their songs are about growing up and girls.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah.
That seems
Which
like
is
what it is.
like pop punk. That's pretty standard, I'd say.
Yeah. On to track number 13, which is called "Set the Record Straight," and I also recommended this one.
Jeez, you're surprising me with your recommendations.
Well, it was really problematic to get the third song because I knew I was going to recommend "For Always" and the
but
second
you didn't
song.
know which.
I didn't know which one to do because, and if you saw, I almost recommended like the other one, "The Downfall of Western Civilization."
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, I don't.
Last minute you changed.
Yeah. So, I guess that's suffice to say that a lot of the songs are worth recommending. I just had to narrow it down, and I just
Guess that
ended
means
up
it's a
choosing this
good
one.
album.
Yeah. It's true.
Ow.
But this song is kind of about the title.
Yeah.
About there being like a issue in some type of relationship, and then trying
bring the truth out.
trying to set the record straight. But there's also a really nice minor 4.
I love minor 4s.
Yeah, dude. Same here, and that's also why I liked it, because it was also kind of different than what they normally have written the rest of the album.
Agreed.
Agreed. Moving on. I'll just go through the last songs pretty quick. Track number 14 is called "Get With It, Can't Quit It, Get With It." That song's pretty catchy. I give it 4 to 5. Track number 15, "Inches from Life." I give it 4 to 5 as well. Like, I could have probably recommended either of those.
Mm-hmm. But they just
instead of the other one.
just didn't make the cut barely.
Yeah, well, and
barely.
It's tough to
I understand.
choose 3. And then the last song, track number 16, "Skipper," instrumental.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of an odd thing to do.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing to end an album with, you know?
But that's a good album. I've listened to a bunch of their albums.
It's definitely a good album.
That
I enjoyed it a lot.
One of my favorites. They've got another one called... I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right now. But it's the one with the song "Wrecking Hotel Rooms."
Wrecking Hotel Rooms, eh?
Are you looking up some MxPx stuff right now?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll look it up for you.
It's called Panic. That's what it's called, right? I figured it out right now. It's called Panic.
You didn't want me to look it up?
No, I literally just remembered what it's called. It's called Panic.
Is it called Panic? Are you sure?
I'm positive it's called Panic, right there.
Oh yeah, there it is, Panic.
Panic. I know what I'm talking about. I almost recommended that one too because it's a really good album.
Oh, okay.
But I picked Slowly Going the Way of the Buffalo
Wrecking
just because
Hotel Rooms. Yep,
it's a little bit more close to their roots, I guess. So it's
okay. Gotcha.
On to Will Varley.
Yes.
Fun story.
Our friend from England.
Yeah, our English friend. Fun story about Will Varley. A lot of times we would be sitting here at the house and Jesse would put on his Frank Turner Pandora? Or what would you put on? Pandora? And so
it was on Google Play.
Google Play. They bring up
Turner Radio.
They bring up similar or recommended artists as well. And Will Varley would play from time to time. So we're like, oh, he's good. He's good.
Yeah.
Frank Turner always talked about him. And then me, Jesse, and Becca went to Boston earlier this February to see Frank Turner do his first arena tour, or first arena show in Boston. And Will Varley was one of the openers. So that was the first time we actually got to experience Will Varley live, and it was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was great, so I wanted to buy an album from him afterwards. And we went up to the merch stand, and he was selling his own CDs, and he was drunk as a skunk.
Yeah, it was really funny. He was like singing to everybody.
He was so happy. He was so jolly.
He must have been having a great time.
He was having, because on the Frank Turner song, he got Will Varley to come out and crowd surf all the way to the back to get a shot, and then crowd surf all the way back up.
He didn't crowd surf.
Did he run?
He just ran.
Oh, he had a shot of Jameson. He ran around the entire arena.
Ran all the way back to the stage.
Which is if you know what an arena looks like, the floor, he ran a long way to do that shot. But it was awesome. Hilarious. But the album was great. The song was great. I went up to him. I was like, what's that song about the king that you sang? And which album is that on? And he told me it's a song called "King for a King," which is absolutely my favorite Will Varley song ever. It's a song about growing up, and it's just super great. And I bought that album. But I didn't listen to much of other Will Varley, so Jesse's been listening to a bunch of his stuff, and he recommended me this one, which is called Postcards from Ursa Minor, which is his third full-length album. So let's delve in, shall we?
Yep, gotta turn your hat backwards like Ash Ketchum and delve right in.
Gotta catch them all, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Will Varley is a folk singer through and through.
Definitely.
He's got a classical guitar, which means it's a nylon string. It's not what you typically hear guitar players play.
Yeah. It's
got a very different sound or timbre, if you know that word.
Yeah.
Different sound than a regular guitar.
Sounds.
Yeah.
Timbre. Yeah.
He's much more of a storyteller, like Bruce Springsteen or Bob Dylan in the songs, and that's why it's very folky, very song for the people. It's really good music. Generally, there wasn't really anything I think I'd skip on this album.
Yeah.
In fact, I kind of want to buy this album now, and I want to buy more of his stuff.
It's really good.
I have the one CD, and now I want to get this one. The first song is called "As for My Soul," which is one I remember he played live.
Yep, I think you played that first whenever you opened.
I gave this 7.5 out of 10.
You went out on a 10 scale today.
Yes.
Wow.
1 out of 10.
No interesting rating system?
I couldn't think of anything, and I was watching Hellboy 2, The Golden Army.
Oh, so you're just like, bah,
yeah.
7.5.
I was like, maybe I'll give it Golden Army ratings. Nah, it's too much. But As for My Soul, I didn't recommend it, but it's a great song. It kind of, I wrote down Mazurka?
Mazurka?
It's Russian, like, bar-breaking type song.
It's like gypsy. It's like gypsy. Like gypsy music.
Yeah, so gypsy type sounding. if you'd imagine like a drinking song in a bar by
Yeah.
Russians, maybe like that, gypsy folk.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Even though I didn't recommend it, I think it's a great song. It's a great album opener, and I really almost recommended it, but I didn't want to recommend all the songs I knew, so I had to branch off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a song about setting aside like hard work to enjoy like friends and like having
Having a
fun.
drink.
Yeah, just
having
like
a drink or two.
setting aside like the hard times and just like the main lines: light a fire, drink a beer, sing a song.
Yeah.
And the verses
Drink
are
a beer.
talking about the hard times and
Sing a
gets
song.
there. Great song.
Oh yeah, I love it.
On to song number 2, which is called "The Man Who Fell to Earth." I gave this 7, which is still a pretty good rating.
And that's pretty good.
I didn't recommend it, but it's also another really good song, which, again, I almost wanted to recommend it, but I couldn't because I could only pick 3.
Yeah.
I think it's about how people focus on the mundane aspects of life and how there's sometimes more important things.
Yeah.
Because there's lines where he talks about, like, it's a certain hour in the morning where it's the last of the drunks at the bar, but the business people are just getting to their works, getting to their jobs. The newspaper's been there slaving for some
Waiting for
disaster
something
to
go
report.
wrong, yeah.
So it's just all these mundane
But
things,
then-
and
and then
he's focusing on the man who fell to earth.
Yeah,
Like,
and he said, like, nobody noticed the man who fell to earth.
so everyone's too busy getting caught up in life.
Yeah.
Great song. I wish I could recommend it, but if you want to listen to the album, you can go ahead and do it. On to song number 3.
And if you want to have a beer,
While listening to the album, you can do
go
it
ahead
too.
and do that too.
Don't light any fires unless it's in a fireplace or a bonfire pit or something.
And if you want to eat some chips, go ahead and do it.
But not salt and vinegar. Those are gross.
Ooh, I love something.
Nah, just throw them out the window. Get some Giant Eagle
Throw them out
brand
the
kettle
window.
barbecue.
Not everybody knows what Giant Eagle is, dude.
Get some Western Pennsylvania grocery store chain brand kettle cooked barbecue chips, and you'll love them. Song number 3 is the best song of the entire album. It is called "Seize the Night."
Oh yeah, this song's so
So catchy. I know he played this
So
live
good.
when we saw him.
Yep.
And I said I didn't want to recommend songs I knew, but I couldn't not recommend it because
yeah,
it's too good.
yeah.
It's a fun take on "Seize the Day" because that's everyone says "Seize the Day" all the time.
Yep.
Carpe diem, seize the day, take the opportunities. But this is kind of the opposite, where it's like seize the night. Instead of making the most of everything, just let loose and relax, have fun, and go out with your friends, party, drink beer, sit at home, watch movies. Just have fun. Like,
Yeah.
set aside all the crazy things and just have fun.
Yeah. And it's just so golden and catchy
It's
too.
so catchy. Like there's
Seize the night.
there's one line he says, "Do your best
Do
to
your best
lose track of time."
yeah.
And it's just like obviously that's
Do your
That's like
best
what he
to
means.
lose track of time.
and the very last line of the chorus is, "If you know where you are when you wake up,
If you know where you are when you wake up, if you know where you are when you wake up, something's wrong.
it's kind of funny because if you don't know where you wake up, you've obviously had a bender or some kind of crazy night. So maybe it's not the best thing, but if that happens to you, maybe it's not a bad thing. Who knows? He's just saying have fun, let loose, and go all out. Because
Yeah.
if you don't do that from time to time, you're gonna go
Get
crazy.
all cramped up emotionally and whatnot.
That's super catchy. I
but
love
also,
this song. The
Frank
verses.
Turner. I'm pretty sure Frank Turner sings on it.
I think you might. It's even on the first song, "As for My Soul." He might have done backups there. Listening
I
to
think,
it,
I think he
you can-
says "drink a beer" on the first.
I think
one.
it's Frank Turner, but I
I'm
don't have
pretty
any
sure.
proof.
Yeah, because I tried to
I
look
looked
it up. On
I looked it up
Wikipedia.
too, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Is Frank on this album?" I can't tell, and I really couldn't tell without buying the CD and looking at the liner notes. I don't know.
Yeah.
but it certainly sounds like he
It definitely
did.
sounds like him,
Uh,
and I would
anyways-
imagine because they're good buddies.
They are. "Seize the Night" is the best song on the album. It's fantastic. 10 out of 10. Check it out. Recommended.
Oh wow, 10 out of 10.
Song number 4 is called "Outside Over There." I gave it 5.5. It's
I like this
the
song a
lowest,
lot.
probably the lowest rating on the album.
Yeah.
It's mainly because the chorus I didn't care for it all. Outside over there, but
where the war's raging,
yeah, what?
run little child far from home, the Lord will make you with them.
That was more soulful than Will, but good job.
What?
But it kind of ties the story together. The chorus, which I texturally I like, but
It
I
just
like the
didn't do-
verses way
it just
more
didn't do it
better.
for you
Yeah,
musically.
you listen to like all the
Musically.
verses and lyrics.
Yeah.
It's about like this girl trying to find her sister who got
Yeah.
kidnapped. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a fantastical story.
Yeah, it's like a definitely.
And then at the
like
end,
a-
it almost like talks about their graves being in the someone finding their bodies in the woods,
Yep.
and it's like maybe they died and this was all in their heads or something.
Oh no! I mean, I think it's just like a story.
Okay, well,
I think that's all it is.
It's very fantastical for a folk song, but the verses are great. The chorus I don't care for, but you need the chorus to tie the song together. So whatever. I gave it 5 out of 5. I don't recommend it, but it's still good. Song number 5 is called This House, which I do recommend. I gave it an 8.9 out of 10.
Song. In this house.
It didn't deserve a 9, but it was higher than an 8.8, so I had to give it 8.9. The song's super duper catchy.
You can give it an 8.10.
No, because that's essentially 9.
It's different though, because it's still 8.
Whatever, dude. The song is pretty much about a lover who has left. It's kind of not a happy song at all. It's all these sad, melancholy lyrics, but if you listen to just the melody alone, it's kind of happy sounding.
How do you like the finger picking though?
I love the finger picking. And in fact, cool picking pattern, I said.
Yeah.
Because I really like the do.
Yeah.
It's a really cool picking pattern. But the melody-wise, it almost sounds happy and uplifting, and then you listen to the lyrics and it's sad. Like Less Than Jake. They have a lot of like depressing lyrics, and then the music sounds really happy.
Yeah,
so
like Science of Selling Yourself Short.
it's an interesting dichotomy or melding of two worlds that seemingly don't go together.
My.
That's a good vocab word, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Vocab word of the day. Dichotomy.
this is probably my second favorite song on the album. It's just so catchy.
That one is Tease the Night your first favorite song?
Yes, it is.
First favorite song.
But this house is really, it's really, really catchy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But moving on from song number 5
house.
to song number 6, which is called Talking Cat Blues.
This
I gave the
so
song
funny.
6 out of 10. I didn't rank it higher just because I probably won't go back and listen to it regularly, but from time to time I'll come back because it's really a funny song.
Okay, it's a very funny song.
It's about this guy who records his cat.
We gotta talk about the song. What it's about, yeah.
He records his cat singing a Kanye West song, and then it goes viral video and becomes famous, and all like people like see his cat and
How does the Kanye West song go? The cat singing.
The cat's
I'm
like,
so great. Yes,
I'm pretty much a god, right?
I'm essentially a god. Yeah.
Do you want to know my favorite lyric from this song?
What?
Is when his girlfriend leaves him at the beginning, she says, "You gotta take the cat to the vet, and I'm leaving you." And he's like, "Well, what's the problem with the cat?"
Yeah.
And that's
Instead
just,
of like, "Why are you leaving me?"
Yeah, it's
like,
just funny.
What's the problem with the cat?
It's very.
And then I like after that, like right after that in the lyrics, he says like the phone rings and there's like a girl on the other line. He's like, "Do you want to maybe go to Burger King with me?"
And she hangs up.
My girlfriend's just left me. Do you want to maybe go to Burger King?
It's funny. It's a joke song, but
Yeah.
I think there also is a bit of maybe British politics in there. When
Oh,
we talk about David Cameron.
Yeah, no, definitely. And there's definitely a point to the song, which is at the end.
Yeah, and there's talking about how he can do things, terrible things that people are surprised of. Oh, well, he does things. He's capable of good, but people don't believe that he's capable of good. I think, right?
I don't know.
Who knows? There are definitely British politics in there, but we got to move on to some other songs.
Well, yeah, okay. Check that song out, though. I think the end is very, very interesting.
It is very interesting because they compare the cat to David Cameron, essentially, in the end.
Well, and
Who's the British Prime Minister? Is that what he is?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
song number 7 is called From Halcyon, which I gave 7.5, but I did not recommend. 7.5 is worth your time to listen to, but technically I can only recommend 3. Super catchy, and it's very folky again, and it's another storytelling type song. But
do you know what halcyon means?
I have no idea what halcyon is.
It means like a place of peace.
Oh, interesting. That might, if I went back and
Reframes
reread
it.
the lyrics, I might reframe it because
and,
I couldn't tell entirely what it was about.
Yeah, in the first song, he talks about how like all of us are just doing our best Bob Dylan impressions.
Yes.
I think this song is his best Bob Dylan impression.
Interesting.
On the
I
album.
can see that.
But essentially,
Lyrically
the song,
or musically?
both.
Interesting.
Essentially, the song is about the main line that reoccurs is with love from Halcyon.
Yeah.
So with love from a place of peace. So like he goes to like multiple different situations where he's saying like,
I'm so full of peace with love from Halcyon.
No,
yeah,
that's not-
yeah.
that's not what
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
I
know,
But the line,
I butchered
the line that I really like is if you find yourself disappearing into the morning sun, just smile and keep on walking with love from Halcyon.
That's a good line, though. I agree with you.
Yeah, right. Like it's a very what's the word?
Thought provoking.
Not like existential. Well, it kind of is like an existential.
Well,
song.
there are more existential songs to come, so I'll touch on
that's
those.
Go for it.
Song number 8.
That's my favorite song on the album. Though.
Song number 8 is called "Dark Days Away." I gave it
It's a good song as
8.4, and I literally was 0.1% away from recommending it. but I'll touch upon the other song that I
So
recommended.
8.5 is your threshold to recommend?
No, but the other song I recommended was 8.5.
Oh.
This has, again, another picking pattern. It's a love song. She could be my fill in the blank. He says she could be my something. She could be, and so
My broken typewriter and more.
it's a song about what this girl can be for him because she can fill in all of his missing parts. It's a great love song, but the last line I think of the chorus is she could take the dark days away.
Yeah.
And so that's where we get the chorus.
Could take these dark days away. I was flat and terrible, but whatever.
Good enough. But it's a good song. Check it out, even though I don't recommend it. 8.4. Song number 9, I gave 8.5.
Oh!
Which is called Send My Love to the System.
That's a great song, too.
I recommended this one. It's my last recommendation. I really went back and forth between recommending this one or the last one, but in the end, I had to pick this one just because melody-wise and catchy.
And the message of the song as well.
Yes.
It's very good.
Very memorable. Lots of talking about being free. So I'm curious if he's talking about being free from the past. Because he talks about taking photographs and burning them and being free from that.
Well, I think it's about the past, but also it's kind of like in the same vein as being free from like the norm of like what you're quote unquote supposed to do.
Yeah, people always hold on to pictures and look at the past.
Yeah, so the main line is send my love to the system.
And I love the verses. I think he does about half the verse, and then it goes to this minor chord that he sings over top of this minor structure. They change the chord progression, and it just sounds. It's a moment for me when they get to that chord. I love that part.
But basically, the song is. I would say the song is about like saying, like all right, like I'm gonna live my life the way that I want to live it, and I'm not gonna conform to the norm of like what people would say you're supposed to do.
Makes sense. I could see that. It's a great song. Again, that's my last recommendation. Check it out. On to song number 10, which is called "The Endlessness and the Space in Between."
This is the endlessness.
I gave this 7.1.
And the space between.
Which is still a good rating, and it's very catchy and interesting. And I think the title, like when he says that, is very interesting because if it's endless and there's space in between, then the space in between is infinite, right?
Yeah.
It's never ending. I think he's talking about life, obviously.
Yeah. So a lot of these songs are talking about life.
Well, pretty much every
Is
single song.
anyone out there? Sorry, that's a song later.
Yeah. Under the next song number 11 is called Concept of Freedom. I gave 5.5, and this actually might be my least favorite on the album, but I think this sounds like a Dylan song based on the guitar part. It's very folky guitar, able to put a story over top of it. It's as close to a skipper as I'm going to get on this album.
Okay.
But it's an interesting subject, questioning what freedom means, because he's talking about how freedom's a PR campaign and etc.
Yeah.
But anyhow, song number 12, which is called "Is Anyone Out There?" And this is the existential song for me. I gave this a rating of 7. And he has some really cool chords in this song. A lot of passing chords and stuff that when you hear them, you're like, ooh, what did he just play? Ooh, let me hear that again. Rewind. Ooh, I like that. Ooh. Even if you don't want to know what a passing chord is, once you hear that chord, you'll be like, wait a second, that's not normal. That sounds cool. And so you'll just hear them. You're like, ooh, that's cool. Cool chord. Ooh. 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 Ooh.
It's a good song, though.
All in all, this song, I think, is him questioning a higher power. Like, is anyone out there? Is anyone
out there?
We're just in a rock floating in space. Right?
Make yourself known. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty
We're
typical.
Just floating through space. And
in the age of reason
never felt so alone.
And poets, folk punk, and everything in between, I feel like this is a pretty common theme.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good song, catchy. On to song number 13, which is the last song, which is called "Questioning of Passing Time." I gave it a 6.1.
Question of passing time.
Whatever. It's slower and more reflective.
There's still the question.
It's pretty good.
And
I think it's reminiscent of like growing and like kind of reflecting on the past and obviously the marching of time. I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
It's good, but I don't recommend it. The 3 songs I recommended, just to recap real quick.
Yeah.
Seize the Night.
Seize the Night.
This House.
And
Send My Love to the System.
Send my love to the system.
If you're going to check out 3 songs off of the Will Varley album entitled Postcards from Ursa Minor. Check out those songs.
Yes.
They're great!
Postcards from Lesser Bear.
Should we move on to next week?
Well, I just wanted to say one more thing about that Will Varley album.
Oh, yeah, go for it, because I talked more than you did for that, obviously.
Another point as to why the song from Halcyon is the best song on the album.
Yeah, why?
So it's about the lyrics, obviously.
Oh yeah, you're more of a lyric person than I am. Even though he has his lyrics are sometimes kind of hard to decipher. He's a really good writer.
Yeah, he's a
very
really
artistic,
really good writer.
Yeah,
really good melody writer as well.
Melody writer as well. Yeah. I'd say his music's even closer, like more aligned with poetry than music. You could probably set these songs aside without the music and let them stand by themselves as
you could
poems.
even exactly, especially with Love from Halcyon.
Yeah.
You could
and a lot of, if you think of, let's say, a Blink-182 or a what's another band, an MxPx, I don't know, just a pop song on the radio, if you take the text, the music away and just have the text,
boring,
it's not going to stand on its own.
Yeah, but this will.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to read the last verse because it's awesome.
Yeah, go for it.
And because it's almost like the climax of the song, even though it's at the end of the song.
And also, before you read that, another point I almost forgot to talk about.
Yeah.
When he closes his songs, sometimes it almost, you don't know it's coming in, so abrupt.
Yep. Yeah.
It just
definitely
ends with, there's a last line which the line sounds final, but the music doesn't, and it just ends abruptly. And you're like, wait, that's the end of the song? What?
Yeah. And I guess that's kind
multiple times, and I don't really have a problem with it, but it just took me aback at first.
I definitely don't have a problem with it. I think it's intentional.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Obviously, it's intentional. Yeah.
But go ahead and read this line.
Anyway, the line from that song that I thought was very, very interesting and kind of puts life into perspective is, he says, "Someday soon I'll be a photograph underneath my grandson's bed. I heard there's a universe somewhere where this song wasn't written yet." And then he goes back to the "So if you feel yourself disappearing in the early morning sun, just smile and keep on walking with love from Halcyon."
Yeah. So that's in the future when he's not going to be,
he won't be there
remembered.
anymore. At some point he's going to be gone. Dust in the wind, right?
He'll just be a picture under a kid's bed.
So in light of all of that, all that gravity weighing on you, the gravity of life, the gravity of being a human being, a conscious being,
dealing with
life.
The inevitable march of time.
Yeah, exactly. Just smile and keep on walking with love from Halcyon, with love from that peaceful state that people can be in, which is a peaceful state that you get in at shows, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when we were in Boston as well.
Oh, that was a great show.
Yeah.
Plus, we got to go spend time in Boston in general, which is an awesome city. Super awesome city.
Shout out to Boston.
Yeah, if you're listening, Boston, we love you.
Boston, I love you.
For Boston. That's Dropkick Murphys, though.
It's the city, not the band.
'Cause I love that dirty water.
I don't like the band.
Boston, you're my I love the band Boston. Man. It's more than a feeling. Don't mock that song. Not cool to mock a great band.
That's true. They are a very good band.
You may be thinking I'm saying this ironically, but I really love Boston.
Yeah, he actually does. His face looks pretty mad right now.
Yeah, that was one of I went to Record Rama in Ross Township, PA, or what was it, Ross Township? Somewhere off of McKnight Road, Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh, and they were having their going out of business sale.
Yeah.
And the records were literally 25 cents a piece. So I bought Foreigner. No, I didn't buy Foreigner. I bought Kansas, Leftover Richer. I bought Cheap Trick live at Budokan. I bought... what else did I buy? I bought two more. One I can't remember, and the last one I bought was Boston, the self-titled album, and it's so good.
It is good. It is good. I just don't like it.
But anyhow, let's look towards next week.
Enough about Boston.
Next week is a special week for this podcast because it's going to be our 21st episode, and 21 means legal to drink. So we're going to have a themed episode again.
Yep.
Which means, beer-wise, we're going to drink what we each had for our first legal drink.
Legal drink.
We won't reveal what that is now because we want that to be a surprise for you guys.
Yeah, you guys will be really surprised.
Yeah, so it'd be fun. No one really comments on our stuff ever because I don't know how many people listen to this, but
that's all right.
If you're listening, please listen. And you're hearing this, Give us a comment and see what you think our first legal beer was. That'd be fun to hear.
Or tell us what your first legal drink was.
Yeah, send us
Maybe it was a margarita or a shot of Jack Daniels.
Or maybe it was a Zima wine cooler or something. Who knows? Whatever it was, just let us know.
Yeah.
I'm going to be pretty embarrassed by what my first legal drink was, but the story behind mine is a story I'll never forget. And I'm excited to tell it next week.
The story behind mine, I will forget because there's not really a story.
Mine's a story, and I'll never forget. But anyways, music-wise, we also want to recommend albums that have
Something to do with alcohol.
loosely based on alcohol, however
Yeah.
much you want to reconcile
And
that.
not the whole album, just like one song. On
Yeah,
it.
and there's one song in particular that makes me think of beer. And it's a song called Beer by Real Big Fish off of the album Turn the Radio Off. So that's what I'm going to recommend for you. Real Big Fish, Turn the Radio Off.
Real Big Fish, Turn the Radio Off. All right. I'm going to recommend for you an album by Fiction Family.
Uh-huh.
It's called Reunion. So Fiction Family Reunion
Okay.
is what it is.
And there's at least one song on there about drinking or something.
Well, the first song is called Avalon, and he talks about gin in it. So that's pretty much it.
Super loosely based on it.
Yeah, because I whenever you told me like let's have a themed episode where we can or like recommend albums where they talk about beer and whatnot, and I was like, all right, I'll try and think of something with that. And I was like,
You're like,
wait, I don't know any albums that are like.
Me listening to punk rock, like if I listen to, have I ever told you about the Casualties?
I know you've spoken to me about the Casualties before.
Well, they've got a song called 40 Ounce Casualty. What's that mean?
Well, yeah,
Or
obviously.
even Sublime's got 40 ounces to freedom, staying on the 40 ounce.
Right, yeah,
theme.
but like the music that I listen to, they don't talk about that.
Punk rock and beer is pretty. Well, I don't want to say simultaneous, hand in hand, but
Basically,
you're gonna hear. I don't want to overgeneralize, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you hear that a lot. Definitely not with what's those people? Straight edge people. Definitely not with them.
Oh no, not with them, no.
Yeah, we'll
But anyway, so you're
come back in
you're
2 weeks.
recommending
We'll do
me.
the album "Turn the Radio Off" by Real Big Fish.
Okay.
And I know you know at least one or two songs.
Well,
on
I
there.
know the beer song.
Do you know "Sell Out"?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
hands down their biggest song. It's on there also.
Yeah, I know that one. It's
And actually-
they talk about working at fast food places and whatnot.
Yes, they do.
I don't want
Yes,
to
they
put on
do.
that stupid hat anymore.
Yes, they literally say
Yeah.
that. But I saw them a couple months, probably about a year ago actually. They played "Turn the Radio Off" in its entirety for its 20th anniversary.
That's pretty awesome.
Not even 10th anniversary, 20th.
20th.
Because it came out in the early 90s.
So crazy.
But it's a great
Oh
album.
yeah, I keep forgetting that the 90s are 20 years ago.
And I'm listening to "Reunion" by Fiction Family.
Yes.
Okay, so-
but really it's just Fiction Family Reunion.
Well, whatever.
But if you don't know who Fiction Family is,
John Foreman
is in it.
From Switchfoot and,
And
a, couple,
then,
a guy from another band.
A guy from Nickel Creek.
Not Nickelback.
I think it's the band Nickel Creek.
Not Nickelback. Nickel Creek.
Sean Watkins, I believe his name is.
That's an interesting name.
Sean Watkins.
Elementary, my dear Watkins. Well, it's about that time. What do you say we give our final slogan, finish our brews,
Well,
and sign
why
off?
don't we? Has your opinion changed to the beer since it warmed up?
I think it's been just as fantastic the entire time. The hops are still as prevalent as ever. I
Yeah,
can
same
taste
here.
the hops a little bit more, but I don't.
So good.
It hasn't really changed that much, but I think it's fantastic.
Like the just in general, this is one of my favorite IPAs that I've had recently.
I wouldn't say favorite. I like their Enjoy by better.
I said recently. That I've had recently.
I've had recent ones I like better, but
Really?
yeah,
Which ones?
that one from the saucer. I can't remember what it's called. Remember you pointed at the menu. You're like, "Did you had this one?"
Oh,
That's one of
okay.
them.
Okay, I can't remember what it's called either.
And the last
Any other ones though?
IPA, the New England style, I had from Braxton.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Fantastic, dude.
Interesting. This is like.
And I was
super
up in
good.
Cincinnati, and I had Trogs Headhunter.
Oh well,
Just
you've
because-
had some good IPAs recently then.
Because I don't get that unless I'm up north.
Yeah.
But let's give these the magic,
Magic
catchphrase,
cheers,
finish our
catchphrase.
brews, and then sign off.
Sounds good, man.
All right.
Shibbidi-bidi-bidi. Oh, dude.
I coughed an IPA.
I think that's probably because you try and sip it really loudly.
Yeah, for the microphone. I'm trying to. Anyways, once again, my name is Steven Johnston.
And my name is Jed. See Titus.
Oh, come on, man. People who ring out their names really long are super lame.
Yeah, they really
this has been
are.
American
You're right.
Brews and
Sorry about
Tunes.
that.
Thank you so much for listening. Share with your friends. Look us up on Facebook, Twitter, wherever, Instagram. Send us an email at americanbrewsandtunes@gmail.com, whatever.
And of course, go out in the world and listen to new music and try new beers.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal of this. So, thanks again for listening.
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beeby-da!